Hello,
Hey,
everybody! Oh my gosh, it's Friday! Yay! I can't believe it. We
happy
made it.
TDIF,
I
everyone.
know. Thank dog. It's Friday. Oh, so
So,
happy
in
to be
case,
here. Yeah.
yes, in case you're new around here, I am Hillary Buchholz, and I'm here with Patty Quinn. I'm in the
Hello.
wrong direction.
That's okay.
And we are the co-founders of We Heart Hounds. And what we love to do every Friday, we call it Thank Dog It's Friday, is just get together and do something fun, lighthearted in honor of our love of pups.
Yeah.
And so today we have a recipe. So it could be recipes, it could be crafts. We have a huge long playlist of all kinds of fun stuff. So check that out. But as I mentioned, today we're doing a recipe and it's called Pot of Gold dog cookies.
I know. In honor of St. Patrick's Day,
Yep.
You could tell we're all dressed for the occasion. We're getting ready. Yeah, we're super excited. I've got my little taste tester here under the blankie. So,
and I don't know if you can hear my little,
I did,
the quality control that's happening down here.
A little sous chef.
Yep.
Making sure everything's just right. That's awesome.
Yep.
That's great.
So this recipe is super, super easy. Like it's just a handful of ingredients. So 2 cups of flour, and you can substitute for a flour that you know works well for your pup, but we're just using all-purpose flour for this one.
And actually, because I made a batch yesterday, mine only took about a cup and a half, maybe a little bit more, maybe a cup and 2/3.
Okay.
So you might want to, for anybody starting this recipe for the first time, just add in the flour, as you think you need it.
Okay. Yeah, and it'll probably depend on like the size of your egg, those sorts of things. So all of that will kind of make some adjustments. But then I'm going to add a teaspoon of turmeric. And I'm kind of doing this. Last time I did this, I added kind of all the ingredients willy-nilly. This time I'm trying to add the turmeric in with the flour just to see if it kind of disperses the color a little bit more evenly. Yeah. So I have no idea if that'll work. This is a test. So we'll see. So the turmeric it's obviously got great anti-inflammatory health benefits for your pups. And for this particular recipe, it is also the thing that is going to be giving our little pieces of gold their gold color. So, and then a 1/4 teaspoon of salt.
I'm just going to measure my hand.
And I'm just going to take a fork real quick and try to see if we can get this incorporated a little bit before we start adding our wet ingredients.
Yeah, I didn't have trouble. I did all my wet ingredients first, and then I added the flour and I think the turmeric on top. So I think my flour and turmeric
were together.
We're still combining, together. So I didn't have, which was nice.
And then 1 egg. And then last but not least, for our liquid, we're going to be using chicken stock or chicken broth. Either one is fine. So I just have the kind in a box. But you could also use like a bouillon cube with, like a half a bouillon cube or whatever with a half a cup of water, hot water.
Right. So. And that's a half a cup of chicken broth.
Yep, half a cup. And for the recipe, we'll have a link in the description. It's not up just yet, but we'll have a link up later today with all of the recipe and step-by-step of everything that you'll need. So when you're going back to make it yourself. And if you guys make it yourself, please share pictures. Let us know how they turned out. Let us know what worked, what didn't. Yeah. This is always a fun, just kind of experimenting with making these recipes. So,
and then we have one more ingredient, right? The oil.
Oh shoot! Yes.
Okay.
Completely spaced it.
That's okay. I just want to make sure before I start stirring too much.
Yes. So a tablespoon of.
I have 2 tablespoons in the recipe. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So 2 tablespoons of oil. You can use whatever, we're using vegetable oil, or I'm using vegetable oil, but you could substitute this for whatever kind of oil you have on hand. So you could use coconut oil or olive oil. And it really just helps. It helps the batter kind of come together, and it also helps for rolling it out so it's not so sticky. So thank you, because that would have been a nightmare.
No problem. No problem. And I'm going to be adding more flour because I just added a cup. So I'm going to be waiting to see how this comes together, and then I'm going to add more flour.
And it comes together, and it'll still kind of look kind of floury. So if you can kind of see mine, it's starting to come together. I'll give it a few more stirs with my fork. But then I think the easiest way to get it to really incorporate is just to get your hands dirty and grab them on in there.
Yeah.
And this is also, if you're noticing like you want them a little brighter or things like that, you can also try to add in a little bit more turmeric. So those kind of adjustments. This recipe is really forgiving. So
yeah.
Hey, Vicki. Nice to have you with us today. Oh, she says Lola loved her shamrock bone. Thanks, Patty. You are very welcome.
Yes, Lola was the lucky recipient of one of our giveaway prizes. We do those all the time. We have another fun one we've already planned coming up. I can't wait. I can't wait.
And if you want to know, as Patty mentioned, we do the giveaways all the time. So the best way to like stay informed about what's coming up and what kind of giveaways we have coming is to join our newsletter or our email list. And there's a link to do that in the description as well.
Yeah. Lola and Vicki will tell you it's totally worth it.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, I think I might have to get in with my hands now.
So as you can see, this one is kind of a pale yellow for me right now. I could add a little bit more turmeric, but they do kind of darken up when you bake them. So I think this is a good, this is a good color. So right around this color or slightly darker, you'll be good to go.
Yeah, and I'm kind of even just looking at the consistency at this point, you know, just to make sure that it's easy enough. We're going to be rolling it out. I don't want to be able to handle it well.
And it's kind of a stretchy dough. So as you're rolling it out, you'll notice like you can roll it. It'll kind of jump back to its regular position, but you can keep on rolling and you'll get it there eventually. So you can be a little patient with this one.
Yeah, it's actually pretty easy to work with. I like it.
I'm just going to rinse my hands real quick.
It actually has a really nice soft feel to it. Yeah, it's really kind of fun. The kids would love, I think, making this. And it's such a fun idea to make a pot of gold for your pups for St. Patrick's Day. I think it's a really clever idea. So if I can say that about one of our recipes, I think it's fun. Oh, hi, Melissa.
Over here, that has been...
They're watching from Canada. Charity.
Oh, awesome.
Charlie Pie and I are watching from Canada. Top of the morning to you. Oh, thanks. Thanks. Yeah. So, your Shamrock cookie cutters. Sorry, Hillary. Your Shamrock cookie cutters will be perfect. And here's our segue with that Hillary will talk about.
Yep. So I have mine rolled out here because I did half a batch to test it. So here's my other half a batch. And it, as Patty mentioned, it rolls pretty easy. It's very workable. But what we're going to need for our little pieces of gold is just something round. So for a cookie cutter, because you could do like if you have big cookie cutters, you may have a big round one. If you have big pups, that will probably work for you. But what I'm using is is just a, let me see. If
Oh, sure. Like a piping bag.
Yep. A little funnel for your piping bag and a little tip for your piping bag.
A really great idea.
Yeah, I'm using the big end here. And they have plastic ones or metal ones, all sorts of different types of these. And the metal ones work really well if you're going to use it in this way as a cookie cutter. So,
and I just dug around the house, as I tend to do if you've watched our recipes before. And we don't need any particular shape. And I grabbed, so you can grab, like, here's my vegetable oil. You can grab the lid off of, I had a smaller little jar of juice, grape juice, and I'm just using the lid off of that. And that worked really well too. So whatever round shape you've got,
yep. And you can adjust it to the size that you want. So just look through your caps of things.
Exactly. Exactly.
You can start cutting.
Exactly. So, all right. And you basically want to get it to about 1/4 of an inch in thickness.
And depending on the size, it'll just kind of adjust the baking time. So that's the only thing, like the size of your circles or whatever, you may have more or less time for the baking time. I'll just start cutting a few of these guys out.
My hands are sticky. All right.
And Lulu has had a few of these as a taste tester, and she can smell them. So she is murping away at me.
And I have my little, she's watching every move I make. There's Ginger, making sure I do everything just right. So, and you can kind of, my hands are completely covered, but you can kind of shape, get them into that round shape. They actually do, they don't have to be perfect. So you can see my messy hands with my little golden coin there. They do actually get a little rounder than you think when they're baking, which is kind of fun. So they don't have to be perfect or anything.
Yeah. And you're just going to pop them onto a baking sheet, and they don't spread. They kind of puff up, as Patty mentioned.
Yeah, they're so cute.
So you can kind of put them in kind of close to each other. You don't have to worry about having too much space in between, because they won't really spread on you.
So I'm not gonna, I'll probably hold off doing any more because you get the idea, but there they are. And I sprayed my sheet just so they wouldn't stick. I don't know if they'll stick or not. But
so I'm using just a sheet mat. So I have like a kind of reusable. So I think
surface. Yeah.
Yep. If you don't have one of those, then I would recommend just spraying it to be on the safe side.
Yeah, that's what I did. It just made it super easy for them to come off. So, I
have my little pot of gold.
And here's my little pot of gold.
Oh, cute.
I just grabbed a little clay pot that I had. Aren't these adorable? They're so cute. These little gold coins. They're just so precious for Thanks Patrick's Day. It's Friday. Oh my goodness. Yeah. St. Patrick's Day, one of my favorite holidays. And let's give the kiddos a taste test. You want to try? Off she goes. She takes her favorite ones and she goes running. Come here.
She's a good girl.
Yeah, she's a good girl. So anyway, and you can break them up. They're pretty dry. They cook for what? 350 for 15 minutes?
Yep, 350 for 15 minutes. And it depends on the size of the cookie. So if you were doing bigger ones, you might want to give it a little bit more time. And they're nice. They're dry, but I would recommend you can definitely store them in an airtight container, like on your counter.
Mm-hmm.
But I would recommend making sure that you let them cool completely before you actually put them in that airtight container, because you don't want to have any moisture in there in order to store them. So
yeah,
that would be my recommendation. You can also, I didn't do this, but you could leave them in the oven to cool. So turn the oven off and then just let them cool in the oven. That'll help to dry them out completely. So especially if you're going to be storing them on the counter, that would be a good, just kind of extra safe way to make sure all that moisture's out of them.
Right, for sure. And you can keep them in the fridge if you like to. Yep. So, and they last on the counter, I'd say maybe a week. And then in the fridge, maybe up to 2 weeks. And then you can, of course, put them in a freezer tight container and stick them in the freezer. And I think they'll last a couple months that way. So, a lot of goodness, a lot of golden goodies for St. Patrick's Day. This has been a lot of fun. Oh my gosh. I hope we inspired you all to get into the kitchen. Most of the ingredients, the only thing I had to run out and get was the turmeric. So, most of the ingredients you should have at home. It's a super easy, super fun recipe. The kids will love rolling out the dough and making all the little gold coins, and you can grab.
Well, and finding the different circle shapes for them. Like, I think it would be all kinds of fun for them to be able to come up with that. So.
Exactly. They each get their own little lid, right? To cut dog cookies out of. So a lot of fun. Thank you so much for being with us today. Truly from the bottom of our hearts, Hillary and I, this is absolutely our favorite day of the week. We love spending time with you. We love baking and making crafts, all in our honor and love for pups. If you have any ideas, or if you make these, share pictures, share ideas, tell your friends, all your dog mom and dads that would love to be a part of this. We'd love to have everybody, play along and be a part of the We Heart Hounds family. So thanks so much, everybody.
And if you're looking for some St. Patrick's Day, you can check out the store in our description, and we got all kinds of fun designs, and we would love it. And it helps us out a ton if you did that. So
it does. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Vicki. Thank you, Melissa. Take care.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a great day.